What's up, everyone? We are live. We are live. Me and my boy Rick, and we're doing it like we always do. I got a topic, and we didn't go over it because that's what makes it interesting and makes it fun. One thing that I will say is Rick is a fun dance partner. I know what I'm getting into when I dance with him, and that's the fun of the journey is knowing at least knowing what you're getting into when you're going into your dance. And today I wanted to talk about consumption versus creator. Are you a consumer or are you a creator? And honestly, can you be one without the other? Because I look at, I've been thinking about it and say, as people, we are consistently creating and we're consistently consuming. And the question is, what are we consuming and what are we creating? You know, right now we have an opportunity to have an experience with one another and an experience with the people that are following us and are watching us. And then we also are going to consume something, whether that be the news, whether that be the food we eat, whether that be gas in the car. We're going to consume something somewhere. And it's important to be as aware as you possibly can with what you consume and what you create and what you really want. Because I've never seen anyone wake up in the middle of the night or early in the morning and say, you know what? I feel like having a really crappy life. I feel like life being unnecessarily difficult. Yet that happens to a lot of people. And then the question goes into, well, why does that happen? And when we can ask that question, then we can start finding answers instead of pointing at them and telling them what they need to do. Sometimes asking people the question, have you tried this? To make them see it in a different frame.
Totally. Yeah, it blows me away. We go, what you're consuming, what you're eating, think about it. What are the thoughts that are going through your mind? You're creating, it's like self-perpetuating. What are you feeding on? What are you creating? My cousin, I can't even say the words because it sounds like I'm pooping out of my mouth, and it's a Hawaiian word. And anyway, the truth is, we're all eating what we're creating. So yeah, you're the creator and you're the consumer. What are you feeding? What are you feeding your mind? What are you feeding your soul? What are you paying attention to, man? What's got your attention? And is it pointed in the direction of what you want to experience? Because we can't be sitting back on just looking at all the crap. Or are you looking at the aim of what you want to experience? I don't live in that place of where I crapped all over myself every day. It's a reality, man. We're like worms, man. You eat and you consume and okay. What is the fruit? What's the fruit? Are the seeds that I planted? What's the fruit? Look at my garden. What am I planting? What am I planting? What am I? Oh, Clifford. It's not rocket science, man. Everybody should know this stuff. Really? It's not rocket science, dude. This isn't. Do you really think people? They're not that, really?
Yeah. So there was a guy, Charlie Munger, and Charlie Munger has he wrote this amazing book. But Warren Buffett, he was one of Warren Buffett's mentees. And Charlie Munger says, common sense isn't common. And so as you go through the journey and realize it seems so simple, yet at the same time, the simple is complex because our brain likes complexity. It wants, I'll give you an example. If I said, hey, I have this thing behind the green screen that will make your life better infinitely, and you'll never have to work a day in your life. People are going to think like, I want to see that thing behind the green screen. And the answer could be discipline and learning how to practice discipline and understanding discipline. That could be the answer. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh man, I didn't like that answer. I wanted a different answer. And so looking at the common practices, the simple things to do. The simple things to do are they as simple as are they really that simple? Like the question is, are they really that simple? It's like if someone knew that someone could change their life and they had to invest in themselves to get that life-changing experience, but they've never invested in themselves before, well, how are they going to invest in themselves now? It's a challenge. That's not an easy thing for someone to do. They've never invested. So now investing is a complexity to them. Now you take that to a successful individual who's used to success, who's used to investing in themselves, who's used to doing the things that they need to do, and it's a no-brainer to that person. So that's how I look at people, and we're in layers and stages, and we're all trying to figure it out in the best way that we can.
Yeah, I think everybody's always doing the best that they can. I think if you come from that with that model of the world, right, that everybody's really doing the best that they can with what they have in the moment, and their intention is actually really, at the root, people's intentions, at the heart of it, at our core, at our being of who we really are, it's really all out of love, out of acceptance. Right. But what we're not seeing that in that moment that we're triggered and we're seeing all of the flare ups and we go, oh, that's somebody else out there. That's, no, that's an inside job. Right.
Yeah.
Because you can hold the whole world in a freaking tornado and be in the center of that tornado and just watch it spin. Like you can sit there and watch the whole thing spin. Right. Man, I saw honeycombs. I saw honeycombs everywhere.
Yeah.
This weekend, I went to Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm coming down the escalator, and I'm seeing honeycombs. And who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Clifford Starks. Like, oh yeah, honeycombs, dude. I'm coming to heaven. I'm coming to the beehive. I know where I'm going. I'm going. And it's like, oh yeah. How you think and how you feel creates your reality. That next set of, and sometimes I second guess myself, but the reality is, when I second guess myself, I'm right.
Yeah.
Whether I'm right or I'm wrong, I'm right.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the belief. And so how do you peel back all of these limiting beliefs, Clifford Starks? How do you peel back one layer at a time to get to where you want to go and feel like if you're in the middle of the crap soup, that you can actually feel like you're on top of the world in the middle of crap soup. Like it's just a reality. It's just like, it just is in the moment. It's just shit.
Yeah.
It's just shit. You just, dude. I remember when my daughter's dog crapped on the floor. We're sitting there in the living room, and my daughter's dog, and I flipped. Like in that moment, I was like, I was like, I was pissed. I was so pissed. Like, God, I just wanted to break the dog. And I'm going, well, who's that guy? I don't want to be that guy. That's not the guy that I want to be. But the reality is we can't control others, things, beings. We don't control. We don't manipulate. We don't, like the lion tamer, right? The lion tamer isn't the governor of the lion. He's the friend of the lion. He's the friend of the lion. He's removed all of his culture. He's removed all of his ideas about his world. Now he's in the lion's world. Now he's the friend of the lion. I see it. I don't have to get eaten by it. I'm part of it. It's my world. What do we want to experience? Let's go there. Let's go there, Clifford. What do you want to experience, man? I'm on fire with you. I'm following you. I'm paying attention. You get up charged at large every day, and I'm pumped to be paying attention to you because it feeds my soul, because you're going in the direction, you're nonstop. And I
Thank you.
hitched my freaking train to your wagon, dude. I did.
Thank you, my brother.
So,
I'm going to get to the comments here in a second. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. I absolutely appreciate your support. Thank you so much. So we're going to get to the comments in a second. But one thing I want to throw your way, Rick, is you're talking about thank you for sharing your experience with your dog, right? And thank you for really showing the humanity of what we are. Like, that's what we are. We're conditionable, right? And we can have good times, bad times, tough times, easy times, hard times. We can have it all. We can experience it all.
mm-hmm.
And ultimately, being able to be aware enough to realize that you were having an experience like that is huge. Because some people might just ignore it altogether, or just put it under the rug and say, oh, I can't be this person. I have to be this way all the time. I have to play this game for everybody else to see. And it's like, no, show your humanity, because when we show our humanity, then we can play the larger game. That's what people missed oftentimes. The lion tamer it's such a powerful individual because they're playing at such a high level that other people just wouldn't play at that game. Like, oh my God, like, I'm good with that. I don't want to play with that. Like, that's a lion. It's gonna eat me. And he's like, the lion tamer says, I want to experience something different. And that reminds me of, like, Cliff, why would you go step into a cage? Why would you lose so much? Why would you do the things that you do? And I thought it was like a normal thing. Like, shouldn't everybody be doing this? Like, it feels amazing. Are you kidding me? It's awesome. You're a high status. It's fun. And then I realized, like, holy crap, my big transformational experiences were at a very young age. And so having those at a very young age, now I can experience at a level that others haven't yet. And I say haven't yet because we all can experience it. Like, that's the beauty of it. We all can experience it. We have the opportunity to say, where do I want to be a lion tamer? Like, in what area of my life do I want to be the lion tamer? In what area of my life do I want to step into my cage and see who I am when I show up fully, authentically, and ready to go? And sometimes you'll like it, sometimes you won't, but you'll learn.
It's interesting to go, you take the cage aspect, right, Clifford, because I imagine you in the octagon just kicking, like, doing what you do, dude. You're the man. I love you, Clifford. I don't ever want to be in the ring with you. Side by side, we'll take the hill. All right, side by side, we'll take the hill. I don't want to go up against you in that. That's just not. But the lion tamer is never against the lion. You see, the lion tamer understands that the lion's a wild animal. That he can't bring his ideas, his world about the lion to the lion. He's got to meet the lion where the lion is. That means he has to remove. It's a subconscious program, see? And to get to that place where you can strip that out and actually get into that cage, that octagon, like you did, like you go, right? I mean, it's like side by side we go.
Yeah.
But that lion tamer, that one-on-one, what's your lion? What's the lion in your life that's got you scared, that's got you running from yourself, that's keeping you from going to where you want to go? What's that piece that you're afraid to look at? What's the piece that you look in the mirror? Who do you really want to be? Who do you really want to be?
I love it. No, and that's what who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? And then it comes, like, we can go full circle and talk about consumer and creator. And we know, okay, we're both of those things. And then when we ask ourselves the question, who do we want to be? Now it's, how are we showing up? Are we showing up as that person that we want to be? And that's hard. That's taming that lion right there. And saying, I want to be, like, that's a scary, scary thing when you say, I want to be this. When I said I want to help 1 billion people, that was terrifying. Dude, like, I'm saying it, and it's not like you've known me long enough, and I know my audience knows me. I don't just say things just to say them. When I say it, I'm acting on it. I'm actually taking the action to become it. And yeah, and I don't know how to be it. I'll be straight up. I don't know how to be it, but I know it's looking internally, and I know it's finding people who have come close to that thing that I'm looking to do.
Yeah, we think that there's, everything should just be this easy, you know, zen, be at this place. I've been there, like
Yeah.
the Satori, right? The place where you're at
Mhm.
peace and you're just observing everybody in love and compassion, and life is wonderful. And like that's my day every day. Like, don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, just because I can feel everything, all of the all of the different aspects of it, but where am I going to spend the quality of the time, right? In what it is I want to experience. It's in the planning stages, it's in the vision stages, it's in the cultivating who I really want to be. It's
Yeah.
defining that piece of me. Like, who are you? I'm chiseling away at this guy, right? I know I'm infinite,
Yeah.
right? I know
Yeah.
you're infinite. I know that, like, when I look, I love you enough to know that you are supernatural, that you're not
Mhm.
human, that you're
Mhm.
so much beyond that, that it's truly, it is God. It's in you. And that's what I recognize, is that bit that's completely indestructible, right?
Yeah.
And that's for me and
Yeah.
not against me. But we've developed trust, see, and
Mhm.
it's taken time.
Mhm.
It's an investment of time to
Yeah.
develop the trust to where you can just go, yeah, let's go, free flow.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell he's going to say. I don't know how he's going to come off, but I don't know what mood he's in, but I know he's consistent. I know
Yeah.
he's going to show up with a full heart.
Mhm.
I know he's for me.
Absolutely.
And that's where we've got to just, who are you surrounding yourself with, man? You're my inner circle, bro. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah. I appreciate you, my brother. And let's see what we got. Asking resourceful questions are a great tool. Thanks for the reminder of that, Cliff. Absolutely. Yeah, I love it, Mika. And Marisol said, well said, everything matters. What we eat, what we say, what we watch, what we read, what we share. Yes, 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 yes. Everything that we do, everything that we consume, it's going to affect what we create. And then we got Miss
Hmm.
Gemma in the house. Hey, Clifford. What's up? What's up, Miss Gemma? I hope you're doing amazing, superstar. And Mary Soul said people have to wake up to their own choices 100%. And that's what it is just we have different layers of sleep. And the question is, okay, what layer do we have to wake them up to? Ultimately.
Hmm. Forgive me. Can I answer that compassionately?
Absolutely.
All right. Because I think that's worthy, because we're talking about people being awake.
Mm-hmm.
Like like you're assuming, forgive me, and this may sound a little brash, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not speaking to you directly. I'm speaking to one that would say somebody's asleep and I'm awake. And I know more than you know about where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And like, this is an interesting concept, because so many people out there, we're, the awaken the greatness within. What
Yeah.
we're talking about is awakening what's within you. See,
Yeah.
what's within you. See, we have the ability to see that God, that genius in every single person, never seeing them sleeping, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They showed up for you. Like,
Yeah.
if you understand that your model of the world it's for you, like the entire universe, God, all of it is for you. When you
Yeah.
understand that it's for you, like it's
Yeah.
it's really for you. You can stand on that. That
Mm-hmm.
it's for you. And when you know that, there's no stopping. You can do
Yeah.
this in love. You can do this in compassion. You can see the highest ideal in another human being. It doesn't matter where they are in their life or your experiences. You're the lion tamer. Remember this. You got to
So this is
void
gonna make
yourself
it.
of the culture, man. You got to void yourself of the culture and all of your perspective, all of the shit you're bringing to the table to analyze another human being. Oh, you're this. No, let them show you who they are.
This is where it's gonna get super fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this. And Gemma, thank you for all your comments. I'm gonna continue to read through here in a second. Actually, I'm super happy Jim is here because this is gonna be super, super interesting. And so we look at the world through abundance and through lack.
Mm.
And then the question is to say, like, okay, well, which one's good and which one's bad? And then they just are. Like ultimately they just are. One's an abundant and one's a lack, and there's consequences to being either way. Either way. And so with a question like people waking up to themselves, right? We can look at the question, read the question, understand the question through the lens that we read it through, and then communicate towards the question, right? So me and you, we're having a discussion, we're having a conversation, we're figuring it out together, here together in an extremely safe space. Like I'll tell you one thing, you actually brought it up to me first, talking about you give space like no one that I've seen. And I didn't even know what that meant at the time, to be completely honest. As I've gone further and further into my coaching journey, giving that safe space, and that safe space is everybody has room to speak. Everybody has a place at the table to say what they need to say, and I give the safe space to you because I give the safe space to me. I go into the deepest, darkest corners of my soul, of who I am, the scariest, scariest places, because within going into those scary places, I can allow other people to go into those scary places. So Jim had one of, I, I'm not going to say it was one of her people, but me and him were having a discussion, and he was saying not the kindest things in approach to what I was saying. Now, I didn't feel he was listening to my message at all, but there was no trigger there. There was no trigger there. It was clearly for him. Like I was there for him in that moment. That's not easy to do. It's a practiced thing. It's the same thing as if you were to tell a fighter, like, well, how do you dodge all of those punches? They can tell you how to do it, but you have to go through the experiences to be able to do something like that. And so when I was reading his comments and I was not being triggered at all, it was from years and years of practicing dealing with people who are not always going to agree with your opinion. It's years and years of practicing abundance, right? Being able to be abundant is great, but can you be abundant when people are lacking?
I stumbled across this morning, and it was something I'd written a while ago, but it was very relevant to what we're speaking. And my daughter actually made a little fan out of it,
Oh, very cool.
and it says love, and I kept it like that. See,
Mm-hmm.
but
Love
it's
it.
just, and this is totally relevant. And if I can read my chicken scratch, if you'll allow me.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So no idea what date, there's no date on this, but if you're coming from a background of being poor, good. That was your training ground. Now pay attention to how easy it was to be that. Recognize the thought patterns for what they are, a way of thinking. If you came from the middle class, you're here to pick a side. It's easy to look outside of yourself and say that you're somewhere in the middle. The comparison game in your mind lets you know you are not at one extreme or the other, justifying the complacency for remaining status quo, for remaining the same. Like, the truth is we're either growing or we're dying. Like, we're, status quo, middle ground. What's your view? It's your perspective. This is neither right nor wrong, right? It's neither right nor wrong. It's just a perspective. It's a lens. And now there's thousands and thousands of other lenses. But if I put a magnifying glass on what it is I really want to experience and I blow it up, I'm paying attention to that. That's hyper focus. See, I've already pulled all of these steps along the way. I've created my ladder for my consumption, right? I'm consuming, I'm creating, and I'm consuming what I'm creating. I'm speaking life and I'm eating life. And dude, this is a beautiful journey. So forgive me. I feel like I'm just Pono.
You gave me so I'm getting goosebumps because I'm thinking back to my journey. And I said, you are great to myself so many fucking times, over and over and over again, because people's bullshit and negativity, we consume it. So talking about
if you want to eat it, though,
only if you want to eat it. Consumer. Yeah, talking about the consumer, but then it goes back to everyone's on different stages and different planes, different places, different spots.
But you can always be where you want to be, though, right? Wherever, no matter where anyone else is,
you can.
You can be where you are. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
But it's also, what are you going to condition to be? Because if you took, for instance, you had a skinny kid, right? And the skinny kid says, like, I'm 250 pounds of muscle. I'm 250 pounds of muscle. If that skinny kid believes it enough, they'll act towards that reality. But there are also those external factors. And to deny the external factors, that's, I think, gets people in trouble sometimes, because external factors are powerful. Internal factors are powerful as well. So it's going to come down to, okay, what are you willing to practice consistently? And so what I practice consistently is showing up for myself. What I practice consistently is positive thinking. What I practice consistently is shining bright no matter what. Like, okay, no matter what, I know there's a way out of this. No matter what, I know there's a solution here somewhere. No matter what. And eventually, everything just started to change, because the people who were the naysayers, my strength was so bright, it made it hard for them to naysay. It made it almost impossible, because I even got to a stage where I didn't have to push back at a naysayer. I didn't have to explain myself and tell, well, I've done this and this and this, and look at this trophy and this trophy and this medal and this medal. All I had to say was, yeah, I'm happy with the things I've done. How about yourself? Giving them the opportunity to look within, that is the hardest thing to do. It's scary for people, because sometimes they don't like what they see. And sometimes they absolutely love what they see. And so the question lies, when I say greatness, there's greatness within you. There's greatness within you. Not only do I point to you, but I point to myself, because I have to stand on my greatness in order to remind you that there is greatness in you too.
And I don't see that as an elevated position, right? It's not, I'm better than, I am leading, I'm even leading the way. It's just, I'm just showing up for me.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, in reality is like, I'm just showing up for me the way I want to experience my life. And it's not to be callous. Like, I recognize that we need to be compassionate with one another, that we would truly love yourself. You're going to be kind to yourself. And at the same time, don't waste time on what you don't want to experience. Like, your time is yours. It's not even what you think it is. The time is the only commodity that you have, and wherever you're spending it,
Yeah.
wherever you're putting your focus, your mind is such a powerful thing. You got to be careful where you aim that thing, man. Yeah.
Well, you're 100% right on it. It is such a powerful thing. I'm gonna see what Jim is saying real quick because she's supporting us, and I want to support her.
Oh, Gemma's a rock star, man. She just
Or are
shows
we
up.
showing up as the person hiding behind the mask like used to do? Yep, absolutely. Love the compassion is a skill. You have to teach it. Doesn't come natural to people. Yeah. Trust is a skill to be learned.
Well, I sure do
Hey,
appreciate you.
what's up, Russell? Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you too, brother. And um so the biggest thing, like, this is where it gets funny. There's certain lessons people don't necessarily like. And one of those lessons is failing forward. Failing forward. And there's different ways to use failing. There, you can use learning, you can use experiencing, you can use whatever you need to use for you to move yourself forward. Um, but yeah, for a long, long time, failure was seen as a very bad thing, a very bad thing. And it showed that success wasn't happening. But the truth is, the way our brains are really programmed, failure helps us to move forward, to be more, to become something different, to transform. You said it perfectly, Rick. Either we're growing or we're dying. It's one or the other. Like, there isn't an in between. And if you think there's an in between, most likely you're probably just dying. And so when you can lean into it and experience it and grow into it, and growth doesn't even have to be a bad thing. Like, that's the funny that it's funny because there was, I'll give an example. I heard, and I was talking to you about this, a voice, and it said, "You're going to get a hell of a lot stronger."
Oh, I remember.
And I'm just like,
I remember
I'm
hearing you say that.
terrified. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound good at all. Like, hearing you're going to get a hell of a lot stronger, because strength has always come from friction on my journey. Like, that's what it's come from, was friction. And then um when that guy was commenting those negative comments, and it didn't trigger me, it didn't bother me. I was just there. I was there, and I was there for him. I was there for me. I was there for my people, because I make sure people don't mess with my people too. That's the other thing. Like, you can talk badly about me all day long. I can take it. But then I realized, like, holy crap, I've gotten stronger than what I was before. And I say that because a situation like that would have triggered me before. Like, it would have been like, you don't know who I am. How can you speak to me that way? But I've changed. I've changed into a person who's like, okay, what does this person need?
Hmm.
And I was sitting back and I'm like, well, how did I change? Having two kids will change you. Like, I mean, it just does.
It
Like,
does.
you go to a different, that fighter in me, I am so happy that I took that journey and that experience. I'm so happy because I already had loaded tools to be able to, like, take on anything. I'm like, I'll take on anything. But then you add love on top of the mix, marriage for 14 years, two kids, all of that other stuff, your family, the people are there for you to support you. And you can take your fighting skills and those compassion and empathy skills, and you can put them together and make something super, super powerful.
Hmm.
So every learning experience doesn't have to be an experience of friction.
No, not at all. I had an incredible experience with that lion tamer,
Mm-hmm.
and what I learned, because I approached him after the show, and I had this conversation, and it was quite fascinating because I learned something about myself, and this is this is my truth, a little bit of self-reflection. I recognized in another human being my own inability to connect when I am projecting on another.
That's powerful.
It was huge. Well, get this, because I'm sitting in the audience with my family, and my wife and my daughter are looking back at each other. Oh my God, like that's dad talking up there. Like like he was talking about the subconscious mind and the programming and coming back. And my wife and my daughter are going, oh my God, that's dad. And later after the show, like I was mesmerized. Because he was speaking my language, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else came there to be entertained. They wanted to see the lion jump into the water and do all of the tricks and everything else. I was mesmerized by the trainer training, because it was actually a little bit of hypnotism was what he was working through, hypnotizing the audience, creating the stage, setting up all of the beliefs for the entirety to have the show, right? Because at the end of the day, it's a show. You came to watch the show. I didn't come to watch the show. I came to play the game. I came to play the game. I'm not a freaking spectator, man. I came to play the game. I found the owner. I talked to him and I said, thank you for teaching presence, for teaching, presence. And eventually we're in this deeper conversation, and he says to me, everybody wants to know their purpose. And I thought to myself, like, no shit.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I'm right here with you. Like, I'm here with you. We're, I'm on your, like, oh, that's me. You're showing up for me, showing me. Like how my inability to connect, because I think I'm a little bit too elevated for where you are at this moment, but you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You keep asking the right question. It's the mystery, right? You're in the mystery. Oh, I'm mesmerized. I could be something else. Well, yeah, of course you can. You can be anything you want to be.
Yeah.
You can be anything you want to be. And right here, you got the team to do it. Yeah. So step into the cage, man. Come on. Yeah. Step into the cage. Come play with us. Come play with Clifford. Come play with me. Let's play. Let's play for real, man. Yeah. Let's play for real. We didn't come to sit on the sidelines.
No.
We came to play the game. We came to play the game, man. Yeah. We came to play the games. Let's play the game. Yeah. Play it all out. Awaken the greatness within you. Pay attention to Clifford Starks, man. He's got your back. He's got your front. He's got your seat. He got the whole damn world holding in his hand. He could sit in the eye of a tornado and watch it all go. Can you do that? You can. You can do that. He showed you how. He's showing you the way. He's showing through his own abilities that you can too. Yeah. And that's what I love about my friend Clifford Starks, and that's why I pay attention to him. So I'm all in, baby. I'm all in.
My brother, I couldn't express in words how powerful what you said really was. Like it's about going in, being willing to just act and feel and experience and not sit on the sidelines. Like there's no better way to say it other than I'm not sitting on the sideline. Like I wasn't, no, we, as in all of us, every one of us, we're not born to spectate. We're not born to just sit on the sidelines. We're not designed that way. We're designed to go out and experience and see what we can bring back to the tribe. And we are the honeycomb. All of us are in this together. Every one of us is in this together. Jimma, thank you. I appreciate you. You're in this with us. Rutzel, another self-development. You're in this with us. And Mary Soul, Mika, you're in this with us. And then there's a Asian, I cannot read that, but you're in this with us too. I can't read
that. The Facebook user that said this is powerful, yes. Yeah, right?
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, we're in this together. Whenever I fight, I don't fight just for me. I fight for my team. I fight for my people. I fight for service. I fight for myself. I fight for it all. Leave it all out there. And now my fight's just changed. It's a different fight now. I fight for my kids. I fight as a father. I fight as a husband. I fight as a friend and a family man. And Captain Rick in the house.
Bro, that is, I was telling my family, you're the only friend that I have that calls me Captain Rick. My father called me Captain Rick, and it is a deeply sentimental name, and it fills my heart. It reminds me who I am, and I appreciate you for seeing me as I am. The master of my own meaning, the creator of my own world, and we are co-creating. So I love you, Clifford. You're a freaking rock star, and we're gonna.
Okay, here, come say hey.
Yeah,
I love you too, my brother. I'm gonna let my son say hi real quick. You want to say hi, and then I'll get you something to drink. Hi. Absolutely. Yeah, Gemma is my superstar. And I want to let you all know, I'm going to get you something to drink, baby boy. We're all in this together. And there's a book called The 5 Love Languages. And the truth is there's probably really a million love languages, but The 5 Love Languages is an amazing title. And it's got amazing points to it. And ultimately it's showing up for people in the way they want to be showed up for. Hey, Robbie, how you doing? Appreciate you stopping by, my brother. Showing up for the people in the way they want to be showed up for, And the way you do that is by listening closely. Listen closely. We're given 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears. And so it's like, okay, look closely, smell correctly and deeply, because breathing, so powerful. It really is. It's one of the most, it can calm you in an instant, especially if you practice it. And listen closely, because you have 2 ears. And speak when you have to speak. But there's a reason why we have 2 nostrils, 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth.
just breathe.
Just breathe. So I want to let you all know, love and respect. Rick, I appreciate you as always, my brother. And we're going to take off. I'm going to give my son something to drink. You'll have an amazing day.